Hey, how's it going, guys? Here back again with another video. I know it's been like almost a week since I really uploaded and beat Death Stranding, but I've been playing the hell out of the game, honestly. I put tons of more time into the game, so now I want to officially make my review here and give my honest thoughts and opinions on the game. And honestly, I want to give like some constructive criticism that they do make a second game and stuff like that as well. But a lot of people do have different opinions on the game, so do I. And honestly, you may like my opinion, you may not, but let's just hop right in this. But first thing I do want to say before starting this video off is I appreciate all the support I did on the videos for Death Stranding. Some of the videos are doing better than others, which is fine. You know, I still appreciate all the support. So that's all I really want to say before starting the video off, and hit the sub button before we start this video as well. So let's get into this. But yeah, Death Stranding was an amazing game from head to toe. There was billions of things that happened throughout the game, which made me love the game even more. Now, it does have a slow beginning, but turns into a greater story even later on, and just like immerses the world like into a crazy type thing what's happening every second, and what Sam Porter's Bridges goes through, and everything he does, everything he finds out, and everything he learned about this world, which is amazing. I think that's the main reason why I love this game. Not just because Norman Reedus was in the game, because he's honestly probably my favorite TV actor, I guess you could say too, but it was amazing from head to toe. Now the story is amazing. We were all confused at first when Hideo Kojima did I guess I want to say he kind of showed it off in 2015. I could be wrong. I think it was 2016, but he did show it off then. I was like really like, damn, what the hell is this game about? It looked interesting because Norman Reedus was in there during the time, and I still watch The Walking Dead to this day, and that's how I knew him. So I was like, damn. I was like, all right. I was like, well, I'll give this game a try when it comes out. I waited like a few years later. They kept showing more gameplay and more, and I was like, dude, this game looks pretty cool. But I was like, the gameplay never really interested me at first, you know. And honestly, it definitely changed my opinion when you play this game. And honestly, if you do watch this game, you're just like, oh, it looks terrible, this gameplay, it looks shit, it doesn't look worth the money. Let me tell you before anything else, you have to play it for yourself to really judge it, because like a lot of people were saying like, oh, this game's garbage just from watching it. Let me tell you something, to actually get into this game, you have to play it, because I was really nervous about that. I think it was back in my I want to say release day trailer, when I think that was back in May. I think I did it the same day it came out. I could be wrong, probably a week after anyway, but I did talk about that. I was really worried for the gameplay. And honestly, I think this game is definitely one of the best games of all time, in my personal opinion, anyway. It's definitely my favorite game of all time now, but it's just, it was very different. I was very scared for the gameplay. I was like, damn, dude, this doesn't look fun. I was like, this could definitely ruin the game. Which some people do have different opinions on, all these news outlets, I guess call them, or media outlets, quote unquote, if you want to say that. But it's just, I have a different opinion on the game as well, so you may like it or not, like I said before, but honestly, the gameplay I really enjoyed throughout it. The combat felt very immersive and fluent. I didn't think it was going to be very fluent, even though the game is not focused on combat and shooting and everything like that. Obviously, right? You can play strategic throughout the game too, which is kind of cool. You have to get through around the BTs, and a lot of people were really complaining about mostly the boss fights. I thought the boss fights were actually really good. It made sense why there was a boss fight in the game. The only reason why there was a boss fight in the game anyway is just because if you got screwed up, obviously some of the boss fights were really bad and some of them didn't really work. I'm not going to lie about that. Mostly the worst boss I had to be in the game was the whale one. It was cool looking. I just think it should have did more damage on you and stuff like that. It was very slow paced. I'm not going to lie about that. I still enjoyed the boss fights, but maybe if they did more damage, they could probably update it now if they really wanted to and make, I guess you could say, the whale boss fight a little bit stronger, because it does do some damage, but it doesn't do as much as I wanted it to, because I wanted to feel like a good boss fight, you know what I'm saying? And the game is really well with Higgs' character anyway, because there's obviously spoilers in here. I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier, but that's definitely in here. But yeah, Higgs' character had a really good boss fight, honestly. I didn't think Higgs was going to be a good character in this game. A lot of people were complaining about it in the reviews anyway. Everybody was saying that Higgs is a terrible character. He wasn't very immersive. He didn't have a big role in the game. But honestly, he had probably one of the best roles throughout the game, if I'm being honest. I didn't think Troy Baker, like a lot of people were saying that he did a terrible job in this game. I don't think it was his best role, obviously, but it was definitely one of the better ones he's done before. But I wouldn't say it's better than the Joker, maybe. I think it had to be a little bit better than the Joker, honestly, in my personal opinion, but that he did in Arkham Origins. But the game has definitely prevailed itself to be a household name all of a sudden for a lot of people as well as me. And let's just dive right in this. I know I kind of like made it like a long introduction, but yeah, the story is the main thing that drives the game to make you keep playing, in my personal opinion, right now. There's a lot of replay value, by the way. There's a bunch of side missions you can do. I think there's over a few hundred, I think, in my opinion. I'm not sure yet, or my personal thing, because I've been playing this game a lot now. I have like over 40 hours into the game now, and there's a bunch of stuff to do. One person actually, I think, completed all the side missions, he said, on one of the news outlets. I forget what it was, but he said there was like a well over a few hundred or something like that. I'm not sure if that's true or not. He said he has over 100-some hours, so maybe that is true. I think that'd be kind of cool anyway, but maybe I will be playing some of them on the channel, because I think that this game is definitely one of the best games of this generation, or of all time as of right now. And honestly, from my personal opinion, I love The Last of Us, but this game definitely takes it from me. The story, let's get into this anyway. So I don't want to give like a whole summary on it, but basically Sam Porterbridge is just like a loner starting off in the game. And then he starts to meet more people and connecting the United States as a whole. That's what I really liked about the game too, because Kojima really, I guess you could say, influenced that as well a lot of anyway, since he wrote the game anyway with another guy. But I'm just saying, he really focused on reconnecting, and that was the main part of the game, which I really loved. And you actually really did feel like you were reconnecting the United States, you know. But I felt like you went really fast connecting as well. But like that was my main thing about the game that was really awesome, is just going to the chiral networks, put them on. Some of the side missions were really good, even the main missions as well. When you helped, I think it was the junk collector. He was kind of a cool character. You had to find his girlfriend and everything like that. I thought that was pretty solid throughout the game. But man, the story picks up on chapter 9, and the story just goes from there. They push you through the story. You basically can't do any side missions from there, and they really focus heavy on the story there. Because in the first 3 chapters, you could just go through hundreds and hundreds of hours probably just playing side missions and everything like that, getting all the exoskeletons and everything like that, which you can do. But I think it's a good idea though to have a bunch of side missions in this game, because I don't think a lot of people expected that as me. I didn't really expect that a lot until like I think it was like 2 days before the game came out. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, there's a bunch of side missions after the game, so there's a bunch of things to do." I was very excited about that because I wanted to go back and play this game, which I've been still playing to this day. The game's been almost out for 3 weeks, and honestly, it's been amazing with that whole ride, with the whole story as well. Like, I kind of loved Lindsay Wagner's character. She didn't really talk too much. She only played Bridget anyway. She didn't play Amelie, so well, she did have her body, I guess you could say, in the game, so they brought that over. But another amazing thing here as well is that Norman Reedus' character, I really didn't think he was going to change a little bit from Daryl's character from The Walking Dead, but he kind of changed my mind on that later on. Because you know Daryl's a loner in The Walking Dead. I don't want to give like spoilers after The Walking Dead, but he's basically a loner, and that's how Sam starts off, just like Daryl's character from The Walking Dead. So they're kind of similar in a way, but he very branches off later on to the game. He doesn't mind being touched later on in the game, but I feel like Kojima said that like months ago that he does change later, but it was really at the end of the game, post-credits basically, where he started to change his character and his role about everything. But I don't know, that's the only thing I felt a little weird and strange about Sam's character. I felt like it was a little late, but I kind of wanted him to get used to it a little bit later on, or I'm sorry, like probably around chapter 7-ish, like that phobia would be gone. I forget what it's called, it's like with the age, I believe. But other than that, let's talk about the characters you meet throughout the game. So Fragile's character is probably the best side character with Deadman, I had to say, because those two just changed the game, and it's drastic, honestly, as well. And I honestly love Fragile's character. A lot of people really didn't like her, and they said she had like the weakest line in the game. Alright, let's be honest, she really did have one weak line, which all she said was, "You're damaged goods, here, I'll play it on the screen now." But yeah, a lot of people were hating on the dialogue for that, which I didn't really understand. I mean, it wasn't really that big of a line. I mean, I can understand it sounded really cheesy a little bit, but that's just another day for another story if you really want to go over dialogue for that. But another character was Deadman, which I really thought he was an amazing character. And I forgot I really played him. I know Guillermo del Toro was in the game as well, but that was just like as a body figure anyway. But the guy did a really good job as Deadman. He really actually cared for Deadman more than anyone, because he was like the only one I was really close to throughout the game, more than anything with Sam, except BB obviously, or Lou, which is the main part of the game, which Lou was really cool about. And there's many different things. Even when you're out without Lou, it felt really strange, honestly, because when you're without Lou, it just felt really disconnected, and you're just like, damn dude, you're like, damn, where'd he go? And it was so much harder going through the areas like without knowing where the BTs were. I mean, you could hear them, but that was mostly it, like how Sam could sense them. That's the only thing he knew. But the main thing I really liked about Sam connecting with the BB is that it felt different. It felt a little weird in a way, but it felt awesome just having BB with you anyway. And I really enjoyed that throughout the game. But the characters are the main thing that drive the game. Mama's character was pretty cool. I feel like Lockney we didn't really go in depth with. I mean, those characters could lead into like another game, really. All the other characters really could, the backup characters. And it was really cool, honestly. I really enjoyed them. I mean, more than the cast anyway. The cast was great throughout the game, because obviously they're mostly actors anyway. And they did an amazing job of that. I really didn't think they were going to do like a great job like that at first. But then I was like, damn dude, this is basically like a movie we're playing right now. And it was amazing, honestly. There was over like 8 hours of cutscenes and all that. It was really good from head to toe. And honestly, I beat the game in 27 hours, which I thought was a little strange. I had like basically another 12, 14 hours into the game, and it's just been amazing from there. But just the gameplay's been amazing. I really enjoyed it, just like bringing all the cargo, anything like that. I know you're like a mailman, everybody's complaining about. And it's really fun just traveling, just like, it felt really satisfactory, just like handing these things to these chiral network areas and giving this to these people. And you felt like you're really reconnecting and helping people out, which is Sam's main job throughout the game anyway. And I really enjoyed that from head to toe. And that's what really drove me for the game as well. The gameplay I didn't really care for at first, and it actually turned out to be really better than I think anybody really thought. Some people can still hate on the game whenever they want, but I still enjoyed that. You know, the cast was great, honestly. Like I said before, Die Hard and Tommy Earl Jenkins' character, he did a fantastic job from head to toe. I don't think anybody really expected Tommy Earl Jenkins to have a huge role with Die Hardman's character, and he did an amazing job from head to toe, if I'm being honest here. I didn't really think his character was going to have like a big role throughout the game, but he proved me wrong, that his character was really sly and suspicious. So I'm really hope they can go into a second game. I'll make a video on that, like, after this, probably after my explanation video, but that's so different of a story. But it was amazing from head to toe his character. I didn't think he was going to do a really great job, honestly, at acting, especially towards the end of the game anyway, where he started talking to Sam and everything like that. He starts crying, breaking down, and starts saying, they only call me Die Hard because I never died. But Cliff, anyway, Sam's father, he was saying that he saved him every time in Battlefield, and he's tried to save Sam's father anyway, but he does die later on from Bridget's character. But it was just really strange how they did that anyway, because you felt like when you every time you plugged into the BB, right, or Lou, you felt like, okay, cool, this is basically Cliff's son. But no, later on it reveals that Sam was the first BB, and anyway, that was his father, which is crazy, right? They tied that up at the end, which is very cool. Like, the last hour of the game is just cutscenes, which I really enjoyed. I love that about the game. You know, the first hour of Death Stranding was basically just cutscenes anyway, and I think they did a great job with that. I think that's the main thing I really loved about Death Stranding, and it felt different, and it felt like a new type of game as well. A lot of people were really complaining about that as well, which I really don't like to talk about other, like, news outlets and everything like that, but IGN did a terrible job, if I'm being honest, dude. And they had like a whole podcast talking about it, a little bit of it. And the one guy was saying, oh, it doesn't feel like a brand new game. And he's like, I'm only like 8 hours in. And everybody in that video was just hating on it. I think they took it down by now. I'm not sure or not, but like, seriously, man, you can't judge the game if you're only a few hours in anyway. But I mean, it does feel a little bit different. Obviously, there's like a third-person shooter. You're traveling, you're giving things off, I know. And I gotta be honest, I like the game for that. It felt different, it felt a little bit new. I mean, I don't mind that. Like, Kojima did say that he wants to do a sequel of this probably. He can do another one, obviously. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but like I said before, the story was amazing, the characters were amazing, the gameplay was pretty solid. There's nothing I could really complain about there. Traveling around the game was really cool. Having the bikes mostly, I really enjoyed a little bit more just because there was more stuff to do on the bike and it was a little bit faster, going up hills and terrain. The terrain's the only thing I could really give a negative review on in this game. Has to be the terrain. I don't know what it was. The terrain always a little pissed me off a little bit. Just mostly the rocks going up the mountain and everything like that. I know they put it there for a reason, obviously, to make you walk more instead of using the bike as like a, you know, basically a crutch, because that's how it really is when you get the bike a little bit later on. It just felt like a crutch just walking around with that thing. But there's a lot of big moments throughout the game, which made the game even more amazing, honestly. Like, there's so many good boss fights happening throughout the game, story moments where you have to save basically Amelie's character, which I really enjoyed though as well, honestly. I didn't think the ending was going to be good, and I felt a bit empty after I beat the game basically. I was like, damn, dude, I just want more of this game. Obviously, I hope we do get more of the game, because there's so many things I could do, but that's a different day for another story. But honestly, other than that, it's been a great ride for this game. I loved it from head to toe. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on it. Other than that, I think that's all I want to say is wrapped up here, is that it was a great game. I love the story, love the gameplay. Honestly, just going through the map, just walking around, just like looking at it, the game looked amazing, honestly, from head to toe. The story was my favorite part of the whole game, and I hope we get more games like this in the future. I love story mode games like this. If every story mode can be like this, at least, maybe not have 9 hours of cutscenes, obviously, or something like that, at least 7 to 9 hours. I'm hoping other games can do this, you know, in a good fashion way, too. Because the game didn't really feel slow. I mean, in the beginning of the game, it did a little bit at first for the first few hours. I say mostly, I want to say the first 6 to 7 hours, you do have to somewhat get into it a little bit, now looking back at it. But man, it was an amazing ride. I hope you enjoyed the video and my personal review here. I'm going to have to give the game a 10. There's nothing I can really complain about. The story was great, like I said before, several times in this video. The cast was amazing. Just going around the map, just looking around. The graphics were amazing, honestly, for like, what was it, 30 frames per second, I think it was? And honestly, I didn't think it was going to look that great, but just looking at everything else around was great. I forgot to also say the music was also amazing as well. Like, I didn't really think I was going to like certain songs on there. I already have some on my music playlist now. I was like, damn, dude, some of these songs are really good, just traveling and listening to that. So, other than that, that's all I wanted to really say in this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinion. Yes, I said it before, this game is a 10 out of 10 for me. My favorite game of all time. And nothing's going to change that. I really did love it, you know. Nothing's going to change, like, even though this game can get a lot of hate, whatever. I still enjoyed the game. It's not a walking simulator. You can call that anytime you want. If you play the game, it's different, like I said before earlier in the video, is that you have to play the game to actually get into it. But other than that, I appreciate all the support on the videos. So the sub button helps the channel grow, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and peace.